Hi everyone, this is the Perfect Duo, and we are going grocery shopping. So, this is not just a normal grocery shopping trip, we are actually doing Instacart for this. And since the last couple of weeks has been a little hectic with this whole COVID-19 stuff, I have been out of work for a couple of weeks. So, I am due Instacart to make a little extra money. So, with this, once I get an order, I accept an order. I head to the store. So as you can see right now, I am on my way driving to the store so I can go ahead and start the order. Now, to prepare for the order, what I do, especially now, is that I have gloves and I have hand sanitizer and I have disinfectant wipes. So if I'm not wearing my gloves for any reason, I always make sure I disinfect everything once I get in the car, and that includes the door handle, the steering wheel, the gear, and then I sanitize my hands. So you will see me show you guys the hand sanitizers that I use and the gloves, and I keep that in my car just to make sure I have it every time I go to the grocery store. And again, I cannot stress this enough. I know everyone is needing to get the items that they need to get, but please be safe because at this time people are really getting sick. And with me being an essential worker, because I do Instacart and I deliver groceries to people, I have to make sure that I'm not only keeping myself safe, but my customers as well. So this is just an extra precaution. So again, you can see me showing you guys the items that I usually use, and my son is with me at this time to do it. So we make sure we have everything we need. Again, the wipes, and especially with Aldi's, they don't have wipes when you first walk into the store. So I have to make sure when I'm doing all these to always at least bring one, if not two, with me inside. So once I get to all these, as soon as I start walking in, I make sure I have a quarter in my car at all times. This kind of helps to make it go a lot faster. Otherwise, I have to get change once I go into the store just to get a cart. So what I do is put the quarter inside the cart and we start going. Once I get into the store, I start to look and check the order. Now, with Instacart, as soon as you get to the store, you click on the app and it'll like say start shopping. And so that's what I do on my app. I click start shopping. It'll load, and the system has been working really slow lately, so I do apologize if sometimes I hesitate or it takes me a little bit longer to get items. It's because the system has been working really slow. Okay, as you can see, it's loading to see what's my first item. So I can see right now that the first item in this area is the Pinot Grigio. I'm going to say this wrong. Pinot Grigio wine. So I'm looking in the area with all of the wine selection. And I am pretty used to being in Aldi's a lot. So I know where most of everything is. So I pick up the Pinot Grigio. And then I go ahead, and every item that you find, you have to scan it. And that's how it lets you know not only is it this specific item, but it lets the customer know as well you found this item that they wanted. Now, with Instacart and the way they have things set up is that the priority items that they really want, or the items that you can find the fastest, will be at the top. Now, I can say that most of the time I have done Instacart, they're not in order as far as everything in this aisle you'll find. Sometimes it's that way, that everything in one aisle that you need to have is together. Sometimes it's not. And I just realized this after I got a couple items, that I missed some stuff because it was probably in the middle of the order or at the end, which made it a little harder. And I do apologize about my shaky camera. I am using the same arm to push the cart with. So I'm getting this cereal, and it's 2 items that I need to get for cereal. So I grab it, and again, I just scan everything. It's really just repetitive. Once you click on, you scroll through the list, you'll see exactly what you need. You pick exactly what it is. And if you end up getting the wrong item, like maybe the wrong size, maybe it's the wrong flavor, it will let you know exactly, hey, you got this, but the customer needed this. It is so easy in that aspect. And actually, I've gotten so used to just being able to grab things and scan them and make corrections if I need to with that. Again, but the system has been working really slow, so I kind of have to kind of work with it. I have been trying to be as patient as much as possible, especially with this virus going on. A lot of people have been putting a lot of orders in, and a lot of people have been doing a lot of orders, new comers into Instacart, so the system has been overloaded. So I just want to let you guys know that if you're thinking about becoming a shopper, or if you do shop with Instacart, just be patient with us. We really appreciate you not only just shopping with us, or coming in to be an Instacart shopper. Now again, I did scroll through my app and notice I did miss some things within the same aisle that I passed by. So I just went ahead and walked back and got it versus taking the whole cart. So as you can see, I'm just grabbing a couple bags of chips. And then I ended up getting Debbie cakes that they had over there, and some I think gummy bears that they had in the same aisle that I literally passed as soon as I walked in. So it's really important that when you're shopping an order, just knowing that most likely things might be scattered. So sometimes it'll start you in produce, and then at the end of your shopping list is another produce item for some reason. Say if you have 5 fruits on it and only 4 pop up at the top, and then you get done doing everything else around the store, and then another produce item is at the bottom. I can't stress this enough that most of the time it's not going to be accurate like it should be. Just make sure you're scrolling down as much as possible and looking at the items that you need, and just putting that in your mind that it's not going to be as accurate as it needs to be. I know they're trying to make sure, they try to make it as accurate as possible, but it's not a perfect system, as we all know. So you can see me most of the time having more than one item because I had to go back to a different area and get something else. I just keep scrolling the app to make sure I really am not missing those items, so I'm not taking any longer than I need to. All right, quick tip with vegetables. Now, what I do to ensure that my customers get the best quality is that I check the expiration date. Now, this is something that is standard across the board when it comes to Instacart. They want you to check the freshness, the expiration, even if the expiration date is got a couple weeks out and it's moldy or it doesn't look appealing. Just grab another bag. It lets someone know that works there once you go to the register, or if you see another associate, But if there's another one that looks really nice, just look, hey, there's another one that's over there. It looks really moldy and nasty. I did grab another one, but just give you a heads up. That makes it a lot easier for the next person, so they're not grabbing that same one as well. But another thing is with cans, which we'll be pulling up in a second. Make sure that the expiration date is at least a couple months out. That's what I do, a rule of thumb with cans. And I make sure there is no dents on the cans. Usually with cans, they're at least a year or two out for a date. But I just usually check them because that can be something that's usually missed. And I don't want to give my customers an expired can. All right, now remember when I said the system sometimes has been working really slow? This is one of those times. So throughout this order, I had to grab items that I seen on the list that wouldn't scan and scan them when it would allow me to. So at this time, it wouldn't allow me to scan it, and I didn't want to take too long. So what I did is I moved on to the next item, which was in the freezer area. Now, once I do one or two items of something else and it allows me to scan it, I'll go ahead and go back to the other item. So you'll probably see a couple more items in my cart because I found them and I was able to scan them, or I wasn't. So I just kind of kept them closer to the front of the cart, so I'm able to go back. Now, again, I know where most of the items are in all these. So right now I'm looking for salmon. So again, in the freezer aisle, I'll just make sure that it's frozen. This again, the sell by date, is it open, is it torn, does the package look worn, stuff like that really helps keeps my ratings up. Another tip and trick for Instacart is that sometimes the item that the customer wants, especially now, is out of stock. So what I have to do is usually put I can't find the item, and it'll say either replace my item or it'll say refund. The customer did not want any other replacement item, so they opted in for a refund for that item. I just did that simple and quick, simple and quick, and I just moved on to the next thing. Alright guys, last tip. So because this order required me to get alcohol, I make sure I have my ID with me at all times. Now, I really haven't had a store ask me for ID once I do Instacart, even if I have alcohol, but I just bring it with me just in case. Today is one of those days I did get carded, even with being with Instacart. Now, once you get alcohol and you go to the register, when you click on that you're done with the order, it'll show the birthday of the customer that you're getting it for. And so most of the time I don't really need to have it, but today was one of those days. Now, once I go to the customer's house, it will require me to scan the back of their ID, the barcode, and that will show not only again that they are at least 21, and it'll just know that it's an authentic, up-to-date ID. Super quick, super easy, but those are the tips that I feel like make it so much easier. So if you like this video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and keep your mind, body, and soul clean.